Yeah, so this got off to what I thought was going to be a disastrous start, but it really all worked out great. So I was beginning to be the stressed out, tiny bit intense Daryl from America. And I looked at the two girls sitting there, and they were calmly sitting there because when we arrived, they told us they didn't have our reservation and they didn't have our room. And they were completely sold out and had no space. Shit. So, arrived at Aosmec, Aosmec, Aosmec Square Hotel, Lapu-Lapu City, through the Agoda reservation, which I'll explain how all that worked, and that began as a little bit of fiasco. But this hotel, I have to give the lowest rating of any hotel that we've been in. So of the four Agoda reservations, the four Oyas properties that I've been in, this one gets the lowest marks, and I'll tell you why. So Lido was fantastic. We spent 4 hours together I think he picked me up at the airport at about 10. That flight was great. So Lido picks me up about 10, who I got through Dennis. So I met Dennis in Makati when I was coming out of the mall and walking, and had a great conversation with Dennis and his security guard partner. And then he gave me Lido's information. Lido contacted me. Lido and I got up. Lido met me at the airport. Had a van. We were going to go to Malbo and pick up the sisters, but we switched all that up. So he picked me up at the airport. We spent the day together, waiting for the girls to arrive on the bus. So we spent. He picked me up at 10 in the morning. We met up with the girls around 2:30, 2 o'clock, something like that, and then we headed to the Aosmec. So Lapu-Lapu City, Mactan Island in Cebu. So here we are. So we get to the hotel. So here's the thing with that. I was supposed to have arrived on May 29 and 30. That reservation a week ago fell through because of airline connections, an issue. It was just much more of a hassle. The reservation I had for May 29th, that was a non-cancelable reservation because it was such a discounted price. So the 2 nights here were for 3 people in a large family room with a kitchenette, was 1540 pesos. So it was a non-cancelable reservation, but I had to cancel. So my friend Gigi from in Santa Cruz, so we both contacted the hotel. She speaks 4 or 5 languages. So she actually got a hold of the manager who was on his way to the bank. She explained to him the situation, and he said, no problem, we'll switch it up, I'll let him know. So I received a confirmation to that effect, utilizing the same confirmation number, but the dates had changed to June 4th arrival and staying over June 5th and departure June 6th. The price stayed the same, everything stayed the same, family room, 3 adults. So all that was cool. So Lido gets us to the hotel, paid Leo 3,000 pesos for the day, and a tip, which is no problem. He had actually bought pastries for us. He bought waters. So he was really cool. Lido was awesome. We finally connected with the girls. We got to the hotel. We get to the hotel, problem, no room. The workers, two guys working here said, rooms are full, we have no rooms. So we try to get a hold of the owner. I contact Gigi's, who I'm having trouble pronouncing because it's Gejjs. Gigi's. So I contact her. She calls him. I call him. Finally, he arrives. It was only maybe 10, 15 minutes of in limbo. Do we have a room or we don't have a room? But he arrives. I speak to him briefly. He goes into the office to try to check all this out on his computer. Worker B comes to me, I give him all the information, the confirmation number, the booking number, the dates of arrival, the exact situation, 3 people, the amount I paid. And so after maybe a few minutes, I get into a room. Wasn't a family room, it's a much smaller room, one double bed. So they bring us a folding mattress, which goes on the floor. There's no hot water heater. The water pressure, there was no water pressure at all. We fixed that issue. They turned on the water. Low water pressure, so it's not that great. No separate little hose for the toilet, for the butt spray, for the handheld bidet, as I would more or less refer to it. No, none of that. And so the whole thing was, the whole reservation thing was a little all jacked up. The room's not great, but it's not a bad area. I got the sisters, so we're really just being homebodies, hanging out, getting to know each other. So the other part of this is the rating of the hotel is like, out of the 4 Oyas go to reservations of this journey, and the great values that I've had, again, less than $250 for 20 nights in these properties, with the exclusion of the Holiday Inn Express, but that's included in the 20 nights. So yeah, so that's the scoop there. The room is like, it's okay, it's suitable, and the company is fantastic. The sisters are, they're awesome. They're very they're an interesting duo, to say the least, and there'll be a lot more of that. So they'll be included in this, but I just wanted to update the Aosmec part, the flight part. I did overpay for the flight. I paid a total of $91 for the flight from Manila to Cebu, and that's okay, but there were rates that I had seen earlier, which were kind of bait and switch. Like, I've seen rates for the same flight for $17, $22, $38, 40-some dollars. By the time you get done booking, the rate I had gotten on the 29th, which that flight did not work out, but that rate was with the checked bag. After the checked bag thing, and it was like 59, but started out at like, I think it was 29 or something like that, but then the check bag fee. And so that whatever it is, Skylink or whatever that app is that I have, that's okay to find prices, but they're not all there. You know, they send you to Cebu Pacific, and the fees are, they send you to, so they bait you in with giving you these prices that potentially exist, and then you have to book them through other specific sites like Expedia, Cebu Pacific Airlines, Trip.com, Bookings.com, Kiwi. So if you select the flight based on the price, you select that, and then it gives you all these various options of who to book through and the price that's similar. And then you go from that to actually booking the flight. And that's where it all, because each one of them are totally different. Some of them include the bag, some of them don't include the bag. So there's the initial fee that you see is not necessarily what you're going to end up with, unless you're like traveling with 0 bags, you're not checking anything, and you got to carry on, and then you're probably going to get about the same rate. You get about, I would say, about the same rate. But there's all these add-ons they try to throw at you, insurance, all this other stuff. So just avoid all that. Shop for the flight. You will find cheap flights, no problem. And I mean, really, $100 for a flight anywhere this day and age is definitely a bargain. So island hopping, an hour-and-a-half flight, and that was the best flight I had, because I had gotten basically what I call an upgrade to the emergency exit aisle, and I had all 3 seats to myself, and so I had all 3 seats to myself and a lot more leg room. So that was cool, and the flight went very quickly. And Lido met me at the airport, so that was all really cool. And then arrival here, and this is okay, but it's like it is a noisy area in sort of more or less the province of Lapu-Lapu City, and so it's like okay, so it's workable, it's doable, but so. Anyway, the bottom line is that it wasn't just easy, smooth check-in. It was a little bit of a hassle, but we got in, and Gigi contacted me last night, made sure everything was okay, and so all good there. She is definitely a winner, man. Anybody coming to this country should contact her, and because she's definitely a friend on the ground. Gigi is awesome. So if you're coming to this country for the first time, come and deal with her, because she's great. So that's gonna wrap this section up. I'm heading down, and then I'll head back to do some video of the street. So this is the view from the Aosmec in Lapu-Lapu City, about 12 kilometers from the airport, and the skies are threatening more thunderstorms. So this is hanging out with the sisters. This is perfect kind of weather for this kind of hotel and just meeting the girls for the first time. It's a noisy street. It's it's typical what P has talked about. A lot of scooters with no mufflers, etc., etc. Roosters all night, dogs. Haven't heard a lot of cat fights, but the rain was strong. Didn't sleep much yesterday, but spending time with the sisters is just phenomenal. So we're still figuring out what the next plan is. The original plan was we were all going to take the ferry tomorrow to Panglao. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to find out. In a postscript note, I've got to say this. The owners really came through. They upgraded our room. They treated us great. And for $15.40, it was well worth it. The girls were fantastic. We had a great weekend, stayed in, did nothing but each other, and just loved each other and enjoyed each other. Aosmec was awesome.